Bonjour, and welcome back to another episode. Yes, I'm in the Sonic parking lot, and I'm about to tell you why. Because if you have the Sonic app and you order cheeseburgers after 5 p.m., you get them half off. And it's happy hour for the drinks, so I got a drink for half off. So I only paid $5 for dinner, and I just got done running, so I'm starving. But that's not the whole purpose of the video. So I wanted to do an Easter vlog over the weekend, but I had a busy weekend. I had a heck of a weekend. Man, some clouds coming for sure, though. It's getting dark out here. Anyway, happy Easter, everybody. It's kind of late, but I didn't get to do one for Easter, so you're getting a late Easter vlog. And so I was planning on doing like a nice little, like, I don't know, sit on the bench at the park and just say hi to everybody and, you know, kind of just wish everybody a happy Easter real quick and do a quick video and just maybe say some things I'm thankful for or something like that. I don't know, whatever. And so I didn't get to do that. So it's Tuesday now, and I'm just now getting the chance to breathe and do all that stuff. So, yeah, so all weekend, had Good Friday off, and that started off with me getting a haircut, and the guy, no disrespect to him, he was a nice guy. Either he misunderstood what I wanted done, which this is the finished product. I'm just kind of trimmed it up a little bit, but he kind of messed it all up. And then, so I was paranoid about my hair all weekend. And then, Saturday I went to my dad's house, and outside of Baton Rouge, and then Sunday, you know, I was on call this weekend, by the way. So then I got called out for my full-time job. I was on call all weekend, and I've briefly touched on this before. I'm gonna go get some gas at Costco real quick. One day I'll bring you guys to Costco with me. That'd be interesting, huh? I don't feel like going in there right now, though. My legs are done for the day. That run was pretty good, so I don't feel like walking around the store. But I got called out. Okay, so my full-time job, like I've mentioned before, I'm an environmental scientist. So I respond to incidents, like emergency response incidents. It's a rotating thing we do, so I don't do that full-time. Like full-time, I'm just an inspector, so I inspect facilities and facilities that discharge water or discharge anything into waters of the state. So I inspect those facilities and I inspect those processes and all that stuff. So that's what I do basically day to day. We do other things too, but that's the gist of it. But there's a rotating weekend rotation call that we do. There's some kind of plumbing going on here in the Costco parking lot. And it's a rotating list of people, like 5 or 6 of us that we respond to weekend calls. So we do that kind of stuff maybe once every 5 or 6 weeks. So it was my weekend to have it. It happened to be Easter weekend. And I woke up Sunday morning and I was thinking, what am I going to do today? Am I going to go to church? Which I wasn't really planning on going to church on Easter, because I typically go to church fairly regularly the rest of the year. And all you guys who are aware of, like, you know, the Easter goers and the Christmas goers, like people that go like twice a year, it's a real thing. You know, a lot of people go on Easter and a lot of people go on Christmas, and usually you can't even find a place to stand or sit on those masses. You know, I'm Catholic, so that's how it is. So I was like, I'm not gonna go to church today. Like I went to church like the Wednesday before or something. So I was like, I'm good for the week. I don't feel like messing with those crowds. I just wasn't in the mood for it. So plus my haircut was messed up, so I ain't having nobody look at me in church sitting behind me being like, that dude's haircut's all messed up. Like, he must have done that himself. I'm not going out like that. So I was like, I'm just not gonna go to church today. So I kind of just slept in a little bit, moseyed on up, and around 11 o'clock in the morning, I got a call for an emergency. It was a tanker truck just outside of town on the interstate on I-10. I-10 runs right through where I live, where it must, through Lafayette. And it was a tanker truck carrying some acid. And this was kind of like an Easter blessing in itself, because the driver of the truck, when I first start telling you the story, you'll be like, what an idiot or whatever, but hear me out. So the guy had to pick up a load. He's like a owner-operator truck driver, so he gets hired to contract it out to carry, to transport loads of whatever. So they hooked up a tanker to his 18-wheeler, and he was going to bring that load from Baton Rouge to Ontario, Canada, way up in Canada, this acid in a tanker truck. And so he didn't have to be there, or he didn't have to leave until Sunday. So he basically came back to Lafayette, which is about an hour west of Baton Rouge, and he stayed a couple nights at home where he's from, and then he was going to hit the road on Sunday, which he did. So he had his truck parked at the truck stop, like at the Love's truck stop. Well, some lightning just now. So ironically, the truck was parked at a gas station at a truck stop for like 2 nights, and he didn't, I guess he forgot to fill up with gas or whatever, with diesel, which is weird, but whatever. So this is kind of one of those things where, they say things happen for a reason. So about 3 or 4 miles onto the interstate from the truck stop, he runs out of fuel. And that would suck. That'd be terrible in and of itself. But then the guy, as he gets out of his truck for whatever reason, maybe he's checking his tanks or whatever, I don't know, and then he notices that the tanker is leaking. Like, it's leaking the acid, like real small drops, like slow drops, but he's still like, that could be a serious thing. So for one, if the guy would have never ran out of fuel, he told me, he's like, that's 8 hours of driving between times he has to fill up. They got usually, 2 saddle tanks worth of fuel on an 18-wheeler. So that's 8 hours. Like the rest of us, it takes us like, on average, 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, something like that, before you got to fill up. That guy's 8 hours. And he would have been dripping that, even though, albeit it was a slow drip, but that can cause other things if it gets carried away, and it's an acid, it'll eat away at things. It could cause stress fractures in the equipment and all that stuff, and the axles or whatever in the tank. It could have been worse. It could have got blown up, all that stuff. So make sure, pay attention to where I'm going here. So and I was talking to him, I was like, so what, like, everything all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get fired. I was like, I don't know about that. You kind of saved the day in a way, like, it's not a total loss. Like, I mean, yeah, they might fuss at you for running out of fuel, but you saved that truck and possibly your life and possibly other lives. So I don't know what the fate was, or was going to be with his job there, but crazy, huh? Like, what a blessing in disguise that was. And so anyway, so that was my Sunday. I spent 12 hours. I spent 12 hours on that incident, just standing around, waiting for another truck to come do a transfer. But I never really get into what I do for a living. I kind of mention it here and there, but that's kind of the stuff, a little bit more in depth of the kind of stuff that I do on a daily basis. And excuse me. So that was my Easter. I came back home. I actually had Easter at my dad's Saturday, like I said, and then so came back home like at midnight. And let me make sure I don't hit these kids here. I'm kind of driving. I'm probably going to get gas at Costco after I hang up with you guys, because I don't want to have to keep switching around and all that stuff and turn it on and off and stuff. It's just a quick message, just a quick hello. And so so that was that. I went to my dad's Saturday, came back, and then I spent most of the day responding to that spill, that incident. And it all went off without a hitch. They did a transfer of the chemical, of the acid, and then the relief truck came and they did a load transfer, and he took off and continued on to wherever he needed to go, and then everything went smooth. And so that was that. And then got back at like midnight on Sunday night. Ended up taking yesterday off because I got to go to bed. I mean, I didn't get to bed till really, really late, because by the time I got home, I barely ate Sunday at all, just because of the timing of everything. And then I basically ate dinner at like midnight, went to bed around 1 o'clock in the morning, had to be at work at 6. So I basically texted my boss and said, hey, I I've only slept a few hours. It's been, sorry, my camera's doing its own thing here. I only got a few hours of sleep, so I'm going to try to get a few more hours of sleep, and then I'll see about coming in a few hours. It's like, yeah, no problem. It's a usual thing. When we get called out late nights, we'll do that. And so, but man, that was about 6 in the morning. I was supposed to be at work at 7, so at 6:30, I texted him and said that, because I was like, I'm just too tired. I'd be worthless today if I go in with like 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep overall. Because I always wake up before my alarm anyway. So basically, I would have got like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And so I go back to bed. My plan is like, let's go back to sleep, get a couple more hours, and then I'll, be ready. I'll be good for the day. I'll go in around 10. I'll still have like a good 6-hour day. It's plenty. I get plenty done in 6 hours. And I swear, I need to start putting my phone on silent because when I sleep, because I'm a light sleeper to begin with. And I'm not even kidding. It felt like every 5 minutes for the next, let's see, I ended up not getting out of bed till like 10:30, which sounds lame and super lazy, but the circumstances, I got like only 5 hours. I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, like 1:30. I think it was closer to 1:30. So like 4.5 hours of sleep. I'm exhausted. It was a long day. It's been a long weekend driving nonstop. And then I had that long day with working the incident on Easter Sunday. So I text my boss. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to get a couple more hours of sleep. I worked that incident late last night. He's like, cool. All right. So I was like at 6:30. So I lay back down to go to sleep. And all is good for about another 45 minutes or until 8 o'clock, because that's usually when everybody, the telemarketers and all that start hitting you up. So for a good hour and a half, my plan was to get like 3 more hours of sleep. My plan was to go to bed, fall back asleep before 7, wake up at 10, and go in around 10:30 or something like that. No, like an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes later, my phone, I swear, it was like every 5 minutes I'm getting a call from a spam or telemarketer or something like that. And then I'm getting text messages from whatever. Facebook's going off. All the alerts that are alerts on my phone, the things that I have are going off. I'm not even exaggerating. It was every 5 minutes for the next like 3 hours, 4 hours. So I was just like, 10 o'clock comes around, I'm already awake because my phone's just driving me crazy. I didn't get any good quality of sleep. I think the only good quality of sleep I got was between like, maybe, when I went to sleep and 6 o'clock when my alarm went off, or when I woke up before my alarm. And that was it. And so I decided, I was like, I got crap for sleep. I was like, if I go in, again, this is yesterday. It's like, if I go in, because I told my boss I was going to take just a couple, 2-3 hours, and then I'll go in. But I ended up just taking the whole day off because I was just worthless. I was just tired. I barely got any sleep. The last 3 hours of my sleep were interrupted every 5 minutes, which is the worst. So anyway, so that was my Easter weekend. So it was busy. It's a 4-day weekend. It ended up being a 4-day weekend. Well, kind of. I worked all day Sunday, but that was incidental. But I mean, besides that, it was a full weekend. It was busy, and that was it. I really didn't get a whole lot of chance to sit and reflect. Like I said, I planned on doing a vlog, not really like a location vlog or a certain place, because it's Easter weekend, everything's closed, and it's just trying to plan something on a major holiday like that can be tough. It could be pretty challenging because nobody's working, nobody's anywhere, they're at their families and stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna take it easy. I was thinking about doing maybe a live stream, but I was like, yeah, people are probably with their families, they're not sitting around watching YouTube too much. And so I was like, well, I'm not gonna do a live stream. And plus I kind of just did one like 2 weeks ago, so I might maybe do those like once a month. Excuse me. I don't want to do them too frequently, although they're fun to do, but I don't want to do them too frequently. And so my plan was like, well, I'll just sit, like I'll just go to the park or something, because I didn't have any plans Sunday at all. Sorry, my throat's always weird after I run. For you runners, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's it. So I didn't get to do anything yesterday because I was busy, and I also planned, and ironically, I was at Home Goods on Saturday night after I came back from my dad's. So rewind to Saturday night, I'm all self-conscious about my messed up haircut. Now looking at it like from the front like you are now, you'd probably be like, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you had seen like the sides and the back, there was no blending going on, nothing. It was just jacked. I don't know what this guy was thinking. I'm not hating on him though, because he was a nice guy. I think he just misunderstood what I wanted. So I'm at Home Goods on Saturday night, and I'm looking for some curtains, because I'm not trying to go spend a lot of money. I'm just trying to get some blackout curtains. And I run into this person, this nice girl that I meet, and we're talking about pillows. We're just talking about random pillow stuff. Not hitting on her or anything like that, just like being nice. It's like, oh, yeah, I got this one, and we're starting with conversation. Turns out she's a hairdresser, or like a, professional hairdresser, and it sounds so weird, but we got to talking, and I was like, well, look, speaking of, like, what do you think of this haircut? And the same thing. She didn't notice whenever she first started looking at it, or whenever before I mentioned it, but when she started looking at it, she's like, oh yeah, somebody didn't do a good job of blending this at all. I was like, yeah, exactly. And so she's like, I tell you what, you come by the salon, I'll fix it. I'll fix it for free, just because you're so nice and stuff. I was like, man, that's awesome. So I spent like $30 on the initial haircut too. So I was like, crap, I told her, I was like, look, I'm sure you're amazing at what you do, but I really don't want to spend another $30, and I don't want to disrespect you by paying less than that or whatever, or even implying that I would pay less than that. But I don't want to pay $60 to fix my my hair overall. She's like, shit, don't worry about it. She's like, it's just whatever. I'll fix it for you, like in between clients. It's no big deal. I was like, all right. I was like, thank you so much. I was like, look, seriously, like I'll Venmo you, whatever. Like, just, I don't expect to get anything for free, whatever. But she just hooked me up. Just meet nice people. So my point is, another Easter blessing, if you want to call it that. And she did a bang up job. So shout out to her. I don't know if she wants to put her name on blast like that, but if she watches this, she'll know who she is. But it's a great job. She did a great job on it. I mean, she blended it, she fixed it. I mean, she saved the day on it. It's hard to show it on here, but I'm growing the top out to an undisclosed length. I don't know how far I'm going to go with it, but the sides were just blocky and it was almost like an undercut. I looked like a bowl cut, like I did it myself. I said, it can't be having that. So I told her what I wanted, what I was going for. Showed her a couple pictures, and dude, she's been doing it for like 30 years or something like that. And my hair hasn't looked cut this well in so long, because usually I cut it by myself until it gets too long, and then I don't mess with it. Usually when it's long like this, but totally hooked me up. Like, what a blessing. Like, she wouldn't take any payment from me. She's like, no, it's like, it was, I like helping people out. Like, obviously you paid a lot of money for a haircut that was messed up. Like, I wouldn't want to charge you another, $30 just to do some simple blending, so, but she saved the day on that. So shout out to her. If you're watching, thank you so much. So, just kind of some things I wanted to bring up, Easter blessings, he is risen, all that, and it's just amazing things that can happen sometimes, and sometimes it happens in the right season where you can just kind of chalk it up to, well, it's because it's Easter time or Christmas time, and certain things can, certain miracles or nice things seem to happen around those times sometimes, maybe a little bit extra more than usual. So yeah, some cool stories, and that's really about it. Like, I was just driving around, I was running errands. I still gotta go get gas at Costco, and then I just left Sonic with my man. Okay, so yeah, if you guys, I don't know if you like Sonic or not, I've always thought Sonic cheeseburgers were really good. And so I got a notification on my phone saying that if you use the app after 5 p.m. you get half price cheeseburgers. I was like, well, that sounds like a good deal. And then I was on the app, it said, oh, while you're at it, do you want a half price? They do like the happy hour drinks all the time at Sonic. So I got a medium Coke and a half price cheeseburger, and in total I paid like $4 something. After the tip, it was like $5.50 or something like that, which is like about half the price excuse me, if I would have got the combo, like a regular combo with tots or whatever. I don't know if you guys are Sonic fans. I'm not a super Sonic fan, but I do like their cheeseburgers. I like the tots too. So happy Easter to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave comments leave a comment below if you had your own Easter blessings or Easter miracles or whatever you want to call it. Those two stories with the truck driver, like I was talking about, and then also meeting that nice girl at Home Goods of all places. I was looking for blackout curtains, and just ran into this nice girl. Started up a conversation. That's it. And then she ends up offering to fix my hair for free and does an incredible job at it. Incredible. Like, I'm probably going to go with this girl from now on, like, period, for all my haircuts, because she just made it look, if you would have seen it before and after, like, I got a fresh haircut on Friday and I needed one, so it was like very noticeable, and she did such a good job last night fixing my hair that it looks so different and so much better than before. And this is, like I said, she fixed it obviously 3 days. So 3 days after I got the original haircut, and she fixed it so well and improved it so well. You would have thought, to me, it felt like I didn't have a haircut before. Like, it felt like I had a whole new, complete haircut last night. That's how much she fixed it and just improved it. I was impressed. So I was like, I think I might just go to her from now on, until I decide I just want to shave my head, and then at that point I was doing it myself. But that's easy to do. I used to cut Marine's hair in the barracks. We saw do that. There's always a handful of us. In any Marine barracks you go to, there's always a handful of Marines who can cut hair. You know, you kind of learn how to be a part-time barber when you're in the Marine Corps, especially because when you go out, like, to, you know, out of town trips and stuff like that on the weekends, and you don't come back early enough on Sunday to get your to go wait in the barbershop to get your hair cut, you learn how to do it yourself, because you don't want to show up Monday morning with the hair all grown out and sloppy. You know, not in the Marine Corps, maybe the Navy or the Air Force. Just picking on you guys. But yeah, so that's about it. So love you guys. Hope your Easter was amazing. This is a weird impromptu hello vlog. I don't usually do them like this for no reason. Every now and again I'll do like a impromptu thing like this. I didn't have anywhere to go today, like, to show you guys or anything. I do have some locations, some things planned, and of course I don't like to tell you guys because I like to surprise you. But I do have some, and I actually have some. I'll give you sort of a hint. In the next couple of weeks, hopefully, I'd say in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I will be going to visit my cousin in Shreveport. And cousin, if you're watching this is going to post before we actually officially schedule it. But we did briefly talk about me going to visit him and doing some special places in Shreveport. And so, if any of you guys know some of the famous places that are in Shreveport, you might be kind of drawing your own conclusions. But you're probably right. Whatever you're thinking of, you're probably right, because Shreveport has some good history to it, but there's definitely some significant places there that need to be vlogged, and I would not ever pass up. So my plan is to go maybe spend a day or two with him and do some Shreveport stuff. And that's way on basically top tip of Louisiana, next to Texas, you know, and Arkansas. So that's coming. What else? As of now, I don't have any other Mobile events planned for my photo booth. So I don't know when I'll be going back there again, but there are a couple places there that I still want to vlog. One of these days I got to plan some New Orleans stuff. New Orleans is so dangerous right now. It's just not, you know, it's not really appealing to me right now to go and just wander around. But if I can get somebody to go with me, definitely not going to do that alone. Get somebody to go with me, I'll do some New Orleans stuff for you guys, because there's years worth of vlogs to do in New Orleans for sure. So just not a super safe place to just go wander around by myself with the camera and the, you know, vlogging and stuff. So it's kind of asking for it. So yeah, happy holidays, guys. Hope your Easter was amazing, whether you're Catholic, atheist, or whatever. I still hope you guys, and I wish you guys just, you know, best wishes with everything, with your life and your well-being and all that stuff. There's no judgment on this channel. There's no either or. There's no bias, nothing like that. And you know, the freedom to express whatever our beliefs or non-beliefs are. And I want that for all of you guys too. So one love and all that stuff. Just love everybody and just be peaceful and all that stuff. So yeah, and stay tuned. I have some other vlogs being posted pretty soon, the next day or two, and keep on keeping on. I love you guys, and for what you do, you're supporting the channel. You're leaving awesome comments, you're leaving great reviews on the channel. I mean, on the videos and stuff like that. And it's just all positive. I love you guys for that so much. It's just so great to have all that positivity on the channel. It's what I love. And so feel free to like and subscribe. Like I always say, notification bells are important, because a lot of people that have subscribed to my channel, I'll talk to them and they're like, oh, I ask them, I'm like, oh, did you see that one? They're like, oh, I didn't know that one even posted. I was like, well, don't you get notifications? And they said, I don't know. Like, so I have them check, and sure enough, they don't have the notification bell thing, because I think some people don't realize that that's a thing. Like, they just think once you subscribe, you get notifications, but you can subscribe to something and not get notifications for their videos. In fact, even me, there's a handful of channels. I'm subscribed to a ton of channels, but there's only a handful of them that I choose to get notifications for. And AC's freezing my hand right here because of that, because I just don't want to get bombarded with notifications all day, just only from the ones that I really like to watch on a regular basis. So yeah, so all of your support is wonderful, and thanks again for like I said, all the comments, all the love you guys are giving, all the shares. I mean, a lot of my videos are being shared. So awesome. And so until next time, guys, I will hang it up here. Probably went longer than I thought it was going to be. 26 minutes. Wow. So yeah, happy short week for some of you guys, or not say short week, but like if you're in the school system, you probably don't even work this week. So good for you guys. Hope you enjoyed your long weekend for Good Friday and Easter and all that. And so until next time, see you later, and good night. Bye-bye.